A new look at the history of the Cabrini-Green housing project reveals a pattern of broken promises, missed deadlines, and a history of neglect. A report by the Better Government Association tells how many former residents were not allowed back after they were forced out, and how only dozens of residents got construction jobs after thousands of jobs were promised.
Joining us now is investigative reporter Alejandra Cancino of the Better Government Association. Good morning, Alejandra.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Thanks for joining us. So we go back to when Mayor Daley was talking about Cabrini-Green, and he had made a promise that the majority of the residents were going to be able to find housing back on the location where Cabrini-Green was. And it seems to me from the investigative work that you've done that 80%. What is the percentage of people that have been able to return to that area?
Right, something about 20% of people have been able to return. So when he made that promise in 1997, it was a big press conference downtown. It was in City Hall. All reporters were there, and he very specifically addressed that everyone who wants to come back will have the opportunity to come back. At the time, when Cabrini-Green is composed of basically the red high-rises, the white high-rises, many people know them, and the row houses. There were 3,606 apartments. So the promise was made to all of them, right? The neighborhood will be revitalized, and all of you who want to come back can come back. So when we look at the numbers, only a small percentage, right, that 20% was able to come back.
So what happened?
Well, 25 years later, construction still continues. In the beginning, in the 1990s, the plan that the city had only called for the demolition of some of the buildings, but over time, all of the towers were raised. In 2011, the last family was moved out of Cabrini. The row houses still stand, but the majority of them are boarded up and waiting for development. So there's still something like 146 row houses still occupied by people who are from Cabrini-Green. But everyone else left. When we looked at census data, we can tell you that in the 1970s, a third of the near north side was black. Today, less than 8%. And that shows you there's a clear correlation with the towers coming down and a black community essentially being evicted from their neighborhood.
So you're saying is that they left, but it's not necessarily because they didn't want to come back. And from what I understand, $2 billion of taxpayer money was spent on the Cabrini-Green redevelopment so far. And somewhere around $1 million or so was used on trying to relocate or trying to find previous residents. But it sounds like that effort wasn't very organized, that the people were easy to find, but they, for some reason, were not finding them. Well,
the CHA says that they still cannot find something like 400 families. Despite their efforts, they haven't been able to do so. And the $2 billion number you mentioned, so I spent the last year, this is probably the hardest part of the investigation, was trying to get, like how much, right? Like, that was like an initial question. Yeah. We asked the city, we asked the CHA if they kept a clear accounting. Neither one had a clear accounting. So we looked through records, property records, any document that I could get my hands on, any kind of budgets that they were made by developers of how much this will cost. And so we ended up tallying up that what we spent more than $1 billion already. Earlier this year, the city made a commitment of an additional $600 million to finish the project, and that's how we get to the $2 billion.
So who owns this? Is this Mayor Daley? Is the responsibility spread to Rahm Emanuel or others?
Well, this is what we will call systemic, right? It was a systemic issue because it was multiple administrations. It started with Mayor Daley, and he had the big plan to privatize public housing, but it continued with Mayor Rahm Emanuel, and it continues through today with Mayor Lori Lightfoot. We asked the mayor to sit with us. We wanted to share our findings. We asked Tracy Scott, who is the head of the CHA. We really wanted months ago to share our findings, and neither one of them agreed to sit with us.
Wow. Huh.
Well, it's a really fascinating read, and you can find it on the Better Government Association. I definitely recommend it. Alejandra, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. In other news this